Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this evening's annual council meeting. If you'd like to take your seats. Before we start, I would just like to remind you of the housekeeping arrangements. If you wish to speak, please indicate that you wish to do so to the chair or vice chair. Please stand when addressing the council, and to enable your microphone, please press the middle button, which will turn green, and the microphone will light up red at the top, hopefully. Please also remember to press the middle button when you have finished speaking. It's particularly important that all members use their microphones so that the audio can be picked up on the live stream. In the event of a fire alarm sounding during the meeting, please stand and follow the meeting administrator to the fire evacuation point outside of the building. I would also like to remind you that this meeting is being live streamed through the council's YouTube channel. I would like to politely remind all members that due to the nature of the council's camera and microphone tracking systems, it is possible that you may appear on camera at times, even when you may not necessarily be addressing the council. For example, when the cameras are panning across the room or a colleague in your vicinity is speaking. Please be mindful of this at all times and act appropriately, including with the use of your mobile phones. Thank you. Do we have any apologies for absence?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I've got apologies from Councillors Criswell, Hodgson, Jones, Jordan and Terry.
Thank you. Can I ask everyone to turn to item 1, on your agenda, election of chair?
Apologies. Can I invite nominations for the office of Chair of the Council for the ensuing municipal year, please? Councillor Conboy.
Thank you. I would like to nominate Councillor Burke.
Is there a seconder?
I would like to second Councillor Burke. Thank you.
Are there any further nominations? All those in favour? Thank you.
Okay. So I, Michael John Burke, have been elected to the office of chair, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. Moving on to item 2, is it your wish that I sign the minutes of the meeting of the council held on the 29th of March 2023 as a correct record? Thank you. Item 3, members' interests. Are there any interests to be declared? No, thank you. Item 4, appointment of vice chair. Can I invite nominations for the office of vice chair of the council for the ensuing year?
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to nominate Councillor Steve McAdam for Vice Chair, please.
And a seconder.
Chair, I would like to second Councillor McAdam.
Any further nominations? All those in favour? All those against? And anyone abstaining? Thank you very much.
I, Stephen Richard McAdam, having been appointed to the office of Vice Chairman, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you very much. Item 5, Assistant Deputy Executive Leader, variation to Article 7 of the Constitution. So if you could turn to page 19 of your agenda, Councillor Wells, who is the Chair of the Corporate Governance Committee, will present the proposal to amend the Council's Constitution to reflect the new roles, responsibilities of Assistant Deputy Executive Leader and propose the recommendation contained in the report.
Thank you, Chair. Following the approval by the Council of an amended scheme of members' allowances on the 29th of March 2023, the revised scheme made provision for a special responsibility allowance payable to the role of Assistant Deputy Executive Leader that was created by the Joint Administration at the start of the municipal year in 22-23, but was not remunerated. As this post currently does not exist in the Council's Constitution, it is necessary for the Council's Constitution to be updated to reflect this role. A meeting of the Corporate Governance Committee held on the 26th of April 2023 approved the variation to Article 7 of the Council's Constitution to reflect the role of Assistant Deputy Executive Leader. The Council has therefore recommended to A, approve a variation to Article 7 of the Constitution as outlined in Appendix B of the report now submitted, and B, to make the necessary amendments to the Council's Constitution. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. We have the proposal. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Harvey?
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to second this proposal.
Thank you. Before we go to a vote, I'd like to open this up for debate. Do we have any comments from anyone? No? Okay. We will go to the vote. So can I have a show of hands of all of those in favour, please? And all of those against? And is anyone abstaining? No. And that's carried. Thank you. Item 6, appointment of Cabinet. Councillor Conboy, can I ask you to please announce the members of the Cabinet for the 23-24 municipal year? In doing so, please also advise us of your Deputy Leader and Assistant Deputy Executive Leader.
Thank you very much, Chair. It's my pleasure to announce the Cabinet then for this coming municipal year. Councillor Tom Sanderson, who will also be Deputy Leader. Councillor Sam Wakeford, who will also be the Assistant Leader. Councillor Lara Davenport-Ray, Councillor Martin Hassel, Councillor Stephen Ferguson, Councillor Simone Taylor, Councillor Brett Mickelber, and Councillor Ben Pitt. Have I missed anybody? Okay. Did I mention Stephen? Did I mention you? And Councillor Stephen Ferguson with his name spelt correctly. Thank you.
Item 7, representation of political groups on committees and panels. So a report has been circulated by the Elections and Democratic Services Manager in relation to the representation of political groups on committees and panels. This is page 29 of your agenda pack. Is everybody in agreement to the reception and adoption of the report? Can I have a show of hands, please? And anyone against? Anyone abstaining? That's carried. So just before I move on, you will have on the tables in front of you the proposed memberships of committees and panels. That's there for your reference. Item 8, overview and scrutiny panels. Again, there is a list that has been circulated already. Is everyone in agreement to the representation on the two panels as printed? Again, if we could have a show of hands for those in agreement with that. And anyone against? And anyone abstaining? Thank you. Item 9, committees. Is everyone in agreement to the nominations as printed for membership of the Development Management Committee, Corporate Governance Committee, Licensing Committee, Licensing and Protection Committee, Employment Committee, Senior Officers Committee, and the Appeals Subgroup? Again, if I could just have a show of hands for that, please. Thank you. Item 10, the Cambridgeshire and Peterborough Combined Authority membership and other appointments. So the report is to consider the appointments to the Cambridgeshire and Peterborough Combined Authority for the 23-24 municipal year. This is a supplementary report to the rest of the agenda as it wasn't received until after the agenda dispatch. This afternoon, the Council has received notification from the CPCA regarding changes to the membership of political parties, resulting to changes in the composition of the Audit and Governance Committee. There is no impact in Huntingdonshire. However, a revised Appendix 2 has been placed on the tables for your attention. Is everyone in agreement to the nominations as printed on the list of nominations circulated? If I could have a show of hands, please. Thank you. Item 11, appointment of Deputy Electoral Registration Officer. This is page 35 within your agenda pack, and Councillor Sarah Conboy, the Executive Leader, will now present a report seeking the appointment of a Deputy Electoral Registration Officer with full powers for Huntingdonshire.
I'll come and stand so that you can see. You have before you a paper that's already been circulated. You will be aware of the recent changes we've had in electoral registration, and that provides the need to act very swiftly to some of the decisions that we need to make when we come to administering the election period. To that end, the recommendation before you is that we appoint a Deputy Electoral Registration Officer. This is in line with some of the decisions our neighbouring authorities have also decided to do, and is prudent under the circumstances and that change in legislation. So therefore you have two recommendations before you which I'll read, and then I'm happy to pause and hand back to the Chair. So the two recommendations are to appoint Lisa Jablonska, Elections and Democratic Services Manager, to act as Deputy Electoral Registration Officer with full powers, and that the authority be delegated to the Electoral Registration Officer to revoke and vary appointments of Deputy Electoral Registration Officers as appropriate. I'll stop there and hand back to the Chair briefly.
Thank you very much. So we have a recommendation as a proposal. Do we have a seconder for that? Councillor Sanderson? Thank you very much. Before we go to the vote, again, I will open this up to debate. Do we have any questions or comments before we move forward? No? Okay, so if we go to the vote, all those in favour? And anyone against? And anyone abstaining? Thank you very much, and congratulations. Finally, members, for information, you will see attached a list of members' attendances and expenses for the period of 22-23. This is produced annually and included with the annual agendas for your information. It is now necessary to hold sequential meetings of committees and panels and the Cabinet. The first of these three meetings is the annual meeting of committees to elect chair and vice chairs of committees and panels. Only those members who have been appointed to each committee or panel should take part in the meeting under discussion. The membership of each committee or panel will appear on the screens as we move through the process, and members who have been appointed to each committee or panel should stand at the appropriate time. All other members should remain seated. Those members who are not on an individual committee or panel are kindly asked not to disrupt the proceedings by talking whilst these meetings are taking place. So to save time, the minutes of each preceding meeting will be signed at the next ordinary meeting of that committee or panel. Declarations of interest will not be invited at the start of each meeting, but members should be aware that they will still need to declare an interest in the unlikely event that such interest arises at the appropriate point in the proceedings. The interim managing director will start each meeting by inviting nominations for the chair and continue with the other items under each committee or panel. And nominations by political parties to other panel appointments are shown on the schedule circulated. Have a drink.
Okay, so this is where the fun begins. So, Chris, could we click on to the next slide, please? And the next one, please. And again. Okay, so if you're able, could I please ask the members of the Corporate Governance Committee to stand? And could I please invite nominations for the chair, please? Councillor Harvey?
Thank you. I'd like to nominate Councillor Nick Wells, please, as chair.
Thank you. Is there a seconder?
Yes, I'd like to second that nomination.
Any further nominations? No? All in favour? Lovely. Thank you very much. That person's duly nominated, duly elected. Thank you. Can we click on, please, Chris? No?
No, you've got to do the vice chair.
Oh, apologies. Can I see nominations, please, for the vice chair?
Can I nominate Councillor Harvey for Vice Chair of the Corporate Governance Committee? Thank you.
Thank you. Can I see anyone seconding? Thank you. Any further nominations? No? All those in favour? Lovely. Thank you. That draws that meeting to a close. Can we move on, please, Chris? Can I ask members of Development Management Committee to stand, please? Can I invite nominations for the chair, please? Councillor Tevlin.
Could I please nominate Councillor Debbie Mickleborough?
You can, thank you. Can I see a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Sanderson. Are there any further nominations? No? All those in favour? Lovely, thank you. Are there any nominations for Vice Chair? Councillor Niche.
I've got it now. I'd like to nominate Councillor Eric Butler.
Thank you. Is there a seconder for that? Councillor Golson.
I'd like to second that nomination.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations?
I would like to nominate Councillor Mockball.
Is there a seconder for that? Thank you, Councillor Wakeford. Can I see votes in favour of Councillor Butler, please? Six for Councillor Butler. Can I see votes for Councillor Mockball, please? Eight. So Councillor Mockball is elected. Thank you. Can I ask you to turn to the 8 names listed under the Section 106 Advisory Agreement, please? Could I seek a proposer, please, for that list of names? Thank you, Councillor Sanderson. Is there a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Tevlin. Any alternative proposals? No? All those in favour? Lovely, thank you. Can we please move on to Employment Committee, please? If you're able and your name's up there, please could you stand? Could I please seek nominations for the Chair of Employment Committee, please? Councillor Blackwell.
Thank you. I would like to nominate Councillor Jordan.
Thank you very much. Is there a seconder for that nomination? Thank you, Councillor Gledo. Are there any other nominations? No, thank you. All in favour, please? Thank you very much. Can I seek nominations for Vice Chair of Employment Committee, please? Thank you, Councillor Gledo. Is there a seconder for that nomination? Thank you, Councillor Hassel. Are there any alternative proposals? No. All in favour, please? Lovely, thank you. Can we move to Licensing and Protection Committee, please? And can I start, if your name's up there, can I ask you to stand, please? Thank you. Can I start by seeking nominations for the Chair of Licensing and Protection Committee, please? Councillor Tevlin. Of course, thank you. Is there a seconder for that proposition? Thank you, Councillor Ferguson. Are there any alternative proposals? No. All those in favour, please? Thank you. Can I seek a nomination for Vice Chair, please, of Licensing and Protection Committee?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Claire Tevlin, please. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Banks. Is that proposal seconded? Thank you, Councillor Ferguson. Are there any alternative recommendations? No. Thank you very much. That's duly appointed. Can we move on to Licensing Committee, which has the same membership, please? Can I seek a nomination for Chair of Licensing Committee, please?
Can I nominate Councillor Barry Banks?
You can. Thank you, Councillor Tevlin. Is that seconded? Thank you, Councillor Ferguson. Any alternative proposals? No, thank you. Can I seek a nomination for Vice Chair of Licensing Committee, please?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Claire Tevlin. Sorry.
Thank you, Councillor Banks. Is that seconded? Thank you very much, Councillor Ferguson. Are there any alternative proposals? No, thank you. That's duly appointed. Thank you very much. Can we move on, please, can you click on, please, Chris? To Overview and Scrutiny Committee Performance and Growth. If your name's up there and you're able, please could you stand? Can I seek a nomination, please, for Chair of Overview and Scrutiny?
Could I nominate Councillor Gledo, please?
You can. Thank you, Councillor Wells. Is that seconded? Thank you, Councillor Pickering. Are there any alternative proposals? No. All those in favour, please? Thank you. Could I seek a nomination for Vice Chair of Overview and Scrutiny Performance and Growth, please? Thank you very much, Councillor Gledo. Is that seconded? Thank you, Councillor Pickering. Are there any alternative propositions? No. All those in favour? Lovely. Thank you very much. Can we move on, please, Chris? So we now move to the appointment of Chair and Vice Chair for Overview and Scrutiny Panel, Environment, Communities and Partnerships. Can I seek a nomination for Chair, please? Councillor Harvey.
Can I nominate Councillor Kerr, please?
You can. Thank you, Councillor Harvey. Is that seconded? Thank you, Councillor Hunt. Are there any alternative proposals? No. All those in favour, please? Thank you very much. Can I seek a nomination, please, for Vice Chair of this Overview and Scrutiny Panel? Councillor Kerr. You can, thank you. Is there a seconder for that proposition? Thank you very much, Councillor Harvey. Are there any alternative proposals? All those in favour, please. I believe that brings us to the end of the appointments for committees. Thank you very much for your time and patience.
So we're now at the conclusion of the annual meetings. The Cabinet will now meet briefly to confirm the appointment of executive councillors and other appointments made by the Cabinet. Again, members will remain in their seats with the exception of the Cabinet, and I would ask other members not to disrupt the proceedings whilst this meeting is taking place. Executive Leader, I will hand over to you.
Thank you very much, Chair. So this is the meeting of the Cabinet for this evening. Cabinet, you already know that you are appointed to the Cabinet. We now need to confirm the members and the responsibilities that they will have. But just before I do that, can I just confirm the appointments which we previously determined? Hang on, I have Councillor Jablonska about to appear. No, not Councillor Jablonska, I've promoted her. Democratic Services. What have you got? She says no. Thank you very much. Yep, that's, yep. Do I need to sign something first? There we are. Thank you very much. So, we have the minutes of the last meeting, which I take as approved. Thank you. I've just signed those, so I'm hoping you've approved those. Members' interests. Are there any members' interests to declare Cabinet? No. In which case, then, can I move us on to item 3, which is the appointment of the executive councillors. So the first item is to confirm those members appointed to hold executive responsibilities for the 2023-24 municipal year, as already determined. So you already know that you are appointed to Cabinet. But I then need to confirm shortly which roles you're going to have. But just before I do that, I would like on item 2 to confirm the appointment of the deputy leader and the assistant leader, but to confirm there are no cabinet assistants. Item 3 under it is to note the appointments to the various roles. So just for clarity, although you have these already before you, I will remind you of the appointments that we have made. So, Councillor Pitt, you are going to continue to lead on community and health. Councillor Mickleborough, you're going to continue to lead on finance and resources. Councillor Taylor, you continue with leisure, waste and street scene. Councillor Ferguson with customer services. Councillor Hassel with corporate and shared services. Councillor Davenport-Ray with climate and environment. Councillor Wakeford with jobs, economy and housing. Councillor Sanderson with planning, and I will continue with place. We have already noted the councillor with executive responsibility for employment matters on the employment committee. That's the ex officio member, which is Councillor Hassel. The executive councillor with responsibility for development management and planning enforcement and the development management committee is Councillor Sanderson. And the executive councillor with responsibility for regulatory services is Councillor... I've gone blank. Councillor Ferguson. How could I forget, sir? Councillor Ferguson. So, unless there are any particular questions or issues on that, I'm going to move to item 4. No? Okay. So, item 4 is Hinchingbrook Country Park Joint Group. We are to appoint 4 members to serve on the Country Park Joint Group. Again, you have those before you. I'm very pleased that we have representation from across the chamber, and I would wish to confirm that representation. So we have Councillor Butel, Councillor Lowe, Councillor Taylor and Councillor Shaw to serve on that group. So can I thank those councillors publicly for offering to provide that service on that joint group. For the County Council, the County Council will separately appoint their member to serve on that group. Are there any questions about item 4, Cabinet? No. Local Planned Advisory Group, now known by the acronym LPAG, formerly known as the acronym DPAG. So the LPAG group will form the group that will advise on the local plan. The terms of reference have already been revised and approved by Cabinet on the 21st of March 2023, and we agreed that the membership would include the executive member with responsibility for planning, that's Councillor Sanderson, and 6 other members on the advisory group. Again, you've already had a copy of that in your packs, but for clarity, I'd like to thank the members of the Conservative group who are offering to serve. So that's Councillor Butler, Councillor Corney and Councillor Niche. I've already confirmed Councillor Sanderson. It's also Councillor Dew, Councillor Gledo and Councillor Davenport-Ray. So again, I'd like to thank in advance those members who are offering to serve on LPAG for the coming year. Are there any questions, Cabinet? No? I wish every meeting was like this, where Cabinet didn't have any questions. Item 6, Member Development Working Group. Again, you have a paper before you. I'd like to confirm and to thank the cross-party membership of that group, Councillors Orban, Buttel and Martin, Ferguson, Sanderson and Jordan. So thank you for the work that you are offering to do to make sure that members are well equipped to fulfil their roles. And again, any questions? Item 7, London Luton Airport Working Group. 3 councillors who are offering to serve on this group. So again, I'd like to thank Councillors West, Ferguson and Hunt for offering to represent residents and the District Council's interests on that group. Again, any questions? No. Item 8, Shared Services Working Group. So this is the Executive Councillors for Corporate and Shared Services that will be serving on this group. Can I move on then to item 9? So item 9 is the Capital Treasury Group. And again, we have 3 members of that group. It's the Executive Leader, the Deputy Executive Leader, and the Executive Councillor with responsibility for capital activity and treasury management. And then finally, the HDC Ventures Group and the representative that will act on behalf of Council as the shareholder of the Council's local authority trading company will be the Executive Councillor for Corporate and Shared Services. Again, I'll pause. Are there any questions from Cabinet? In which case, thank you, Cabinet. That's the shortest Cabinet meeting we've ever had. Thank you. I'll close the meeting and hand back to the Chair.
Thank you very much, Councillor Conboy. This brings us to the end of our business for this evening. Can I thank you all for your attendance and contributions and for allowing me to carry on with the role of chair for the forthcoming year. With that, I declare the meeting closed.